from the LA Galaxy's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. In music from Portugal the Man. And now, as if you didn't know, here's Jimmy Kimmel!
Well, that's very kind. I'm glad you're here. I hope you guys got your. I know we're having fun tonight, but I hope you got your taxes done, because if you didn't, you're going to jail like Wesley Snipes. Okay? Today is tax day in the United States. I love tax day. You know, it's especially fun to have young kids on this day because you get to experience the magic of tax day through their eyes. It's like all over again, you know? We need, we got an extra, today's the 17th. We actually got an extra 3 days this year to file. We had an extra 2 days, but thanks to a big problem today with the IRS website, we got an extra day. Those who waited until the last minute to file online got this message, for real, planned outage, April 17, 2018, through December 31st, $99.99, which means I think we don't have to pay taxes for 8,000 years. Maybe Trump was right. I don't file my taxes electronically. I do it the old-fashioned way. I tape them to the leg of a raven, and I free it like Game of Thrones. President Trump celebrated Tax Day from his vacation home in Florida with a tweet. He wrote, "So many people are seeing the benefits of the tax cut bill. Everyone is talking. Really nice to see." Which is true, except for that it isn't true at all. It's a new NBC Wall Street Journal poll today showed that only 27% of Americans think these tax cuts were a good idea. 36% said they were a bad idea. 37% had no opinion. And the top 1% said, "Thanks for the money, Uncle Donald." The White House announced that the president himself did not file his taxes today. He filed for an extension. Apparently, there are a lot of, I guess, complex issues his accountants are still working out, like, does paying a porn star $130,000 count as a business or entertainment expense? I don't know. The president did a little tap dance today on those Russia sanctions he's been talking so much about. You know, he's supposed to impose tough new sanctions on Russia yesterday, but I guess decided not to go through with it. Why, no one knows. Although I'm sure there's a very good reason that has nothing at all to do with Russians having any kind of anything he doesn't want us to see on him. But the White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee said the president has been clear that he's going to be tough on Russia, but at the same time, he'd still like to have a good relationship with them. So in other words, the president's okay with announcing sanctions. He just doesn't want to impose any of them on the Russians. It would be rude to do that. If only Donald Trump were as tough on Russia as he is on his belt loops, I think we'd be in a lot... And the way he fawns over this Vladimir Putin, it's mind-boggling. At this point, it's almost more embarrassing if Putin doesn't have something on Trump, if he doesn't have a tape. Because if he doesn't have tape, it means Trump is just sucking up like an infatuated groupie, the way Mike Pence does with him. Russia is a tough country. They don't fool around in Russia. You know, they're hosting the World Cup in June, and this, I think, is a good indicator of how things go over there. This is the in-game entertainment from a soccer game this weekend in Russia. They put a giant live bear with no leash in a stadium full of I don't know how many people. Just for comparison's sake, this is our version of that. That's the Memphis Grizzlies mascot, Horny the Bear, and that is us versus the Russians in a nutshell. And here's another thing we should be concerned about as a nation. I don't know if you know about this, but Heinz, the Heinz company, announced yesterday they have a new condiment, supposedly by popular demand. And that condiment, can we get a drum roll? Okay. That condiment is called Mayo Chup. It is mayonnaise and ketchup I think it's meant to be injected intravenously. I'm not sure. But wow, think of all the hours we'll save thanks to Mayo Chup. I'll finally get time to spend with my children. I feel like this is an example of finding a solution to a problem that we don't actually have. But as far as condoms go, Mayo Chup isn't even the worst new one of the year. Look at this condom menace to society. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, no thanks. I don't need a slice of ketchup. Is ketchup really not convenient enough that we have to form slice? How lazy have we become? Hey, speaking of useless things, Scott Pruitt, the head of the EPA, has yet another new spending scandal to add to his growing list. According to a report from the Government Accountability Office, Pruitt broke the law by spending $43,000 to have a soundproof phone booth installed in his office. They're only allowed to spend up to $5,000 without notifying Congress that you're spending more. Pruitt went over that, way over that, to $43,000 for a phone booth. He said he needs to make classified calls to the White House. Does the EPA handle a lot of classified information? Mr. President, I think the barn owls are spying on us. And by the way, you're in a soundproof booth calling Donald Trump, who you know is on a speakerphone next to the pool at Mar-a-Lago. And not only did Scott Pruitt spend $43,000 on a phone booth, he ordered a customized SUV with bulletproof seat covers, the head of the EPA. You know, if this guy protected the planet as much as he does his own ass, we'd be fine. We'd be in very good shape. I don't know if you've been following this as closely as I have, but we have a new suspect in the Stormy Daniels investigation. Stormy and her lawyer, Michael Avenatti, were on The View today, where they unveiled a police artist sketch of a man, she says, threatened her, who told her to keep quiet about Trump while she was out with her daughter.
Stormy, you recently sat down with a forensic artist, a very well-known one, who created a sketch of the alleged suspect based on your memory from that day, and now you're ready to reveal that sketch for the first time. Can we take a look at that with you?
Oh. There you go.
And to your recollection, is that the person that threatened you?
Absolutely.
Hold on, I think that's the wrong sketch. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's a leprechaun. No, this is the suspect that the police artist drew. Or at least what she remembers him looking like. A lot of people online today thought it was Tom Brady, which is... Even Donald Trump wouldn't hire a thug who wears Uggs. That's ridiculous. But it does bear some resemblance to another Donald Trump associate, and that is Anthony Scaramucci. Do you think... It's either the Mooch or Bon Jovi, I don't know. By the way, I love the artist signed it Lois, like it was done on the boardwalk in Atlantic City. The big news today was the bigly anticipated release of former FBI Director James Comey's book, in which he paints an unflattering portrait of his former boss. The president is said to be furious about this book because it combines the two things he hates most, criticism and reading. The book came out today. It's the #1 seller on Amazon. At local bookstores, kids were lined up at midnight dressed as their favorite characters from the Mueller investigation. The book is a damning depiction of a president who seems to do all the wrong things, and that's a shame. Let me have that book there, because, you know, the president should be doing the right things. And if only I could go back in time to show this book to a young Donald Trump so he could see what is in store for him. And maybe, I don't know, just maybe we could potentially get him to change his ways. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. It worked. We're back in time. Never imagined this building would still be here, but oh my gosh, what year is it? It's 1946. Hi, baby Donald. It's me, Uncle Jimmy. I have some big news for you. Oh, you are such a special little boy. Donald, one day, a very tall man named James Comey is going to write a book all about you. Look at it. It's 304 pages. Right. But I do want to say, it's not very nice. Do you know what the words morally unfit mean? It means you should never, ever tell a lie. And you should probably get these naked Barbie dolls out of your crib also. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't cry. Let me read you a little story from the book, okay? All right, here we go. Mr. Trump said he needed to talk with me before our scheduled dinner. When I got to the room, he immediately showed me a picture of himself on the cover of Forbes magazine. Don't I look great, he said. Someone should spank your bottom with that magazine, I said. He turned around and pulled down his pants to get... Wait a minute. This is not... Oh, this is not James Comey's book. This is actually Stormy Daniels' book, Orally Unfit. But Stormy Daniels, this is a good story. She's a lady you're going to meet at a golf tournament, and you're going to pay her $130,000 to breastfeed, okay? Okay, little Donnie, I have to go now, but I'm going to see you later, okay? What? What are you doing?
Hey, baby Donald, I got one thing to say.
You're in 1946?
Yeah, I got bit by a chupacabra.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Baby Donald Trump, don't build a wall against Mexicans. That is a stupid idea. And you're a stupid baby.
Don't fight the baby. It's just a baby. All right. You want to get in the crib?
No,
Okay,
thanks.
all right. All right. We have a good show for you tonight. Tonight, we have music from Portugal the Man. Soccer superstar Zlatan Ibrahimovic is here. And we'll be right back with LL Cool J. From the LA Galaxy, a soccer superstar. He is known all over the world. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is with us here tonight. We're going to enjoy him. And then their album is called Woodstock, Portugal the Man from the Mercedes-Benz stage. Tomorrow night we have a good show. Gwen Stefani and Josh Holloway will be here with music from Dierks Bentley. And on Thursday, the cast of Scandal, all of them following their series finale, will gather here to reflect and to celebrate with music from Chaka Khan. So please join us for that evening of many tears. Since the last time he was here, a number of things have happened to our first guest. He turned 50, he received a Kennedy Center honor, and he started his own satellite radio station. It's called Rock the Bells Radio. It is on Sirius XM. Please welcome LL Cool J. I'm doing well. I think you're doing better than I am. Did you ever imagine that you would one day have your own radio station?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
It's exciting, right?
It's very exciting because, you know, for so many years, artists had to water their music down, including myself, on certain levels, and just hope and pray and cross our fingers that some program director would play our music.
Really?
And, yeah, a lot of artists go through that out there.
What songs do you feel specifically watered down? Which are the watered down LL
It's not a particular single. What it is it's how the music is put out. In other words, like, let's take a song like Mama Said Knock You Out, which is a lot of people are aware of. And they all clap. They all clap. But when Mama Said Knock You Out came out, it got very little airplay. It grew over the years, and people are familiar with it.
The video, I think, is part of what made it.
The video made it, but it got very little airplay, and a lot of the music is like that. So now, with Rock the Bells Radio, what I've decided to do is, yes, we will play all of the popular rap records that you know and a lot of the big hits and classic hits that you love. However, we also, you know, digging deep into the crates. We're digging deep into the underbelly of the music and giving you the culture of the music. So Rock the Bells Radio is very polarizing in that sense, because if you're like the person who has like your favorite 10 rap songs from college, you're gonna hate it.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Yeah, because it's not that. It's not, I want to rock right now over and over again.
Right.
It's not that. And I love Rob Bass, you know what I'm saying? But it's not that. This is a radio station that's about the culture. It's about classic hip-hop for real. So if you want to be a fly on the wall and you really want to understand where rap music came from for real, this is the place to go and listen.
This is the stuff that influenced you.
Yeah, well, it's partly. I go all the way from the late 70s all the way to the early 2000s, right? And so I will play music from guys like Cold Crush Brothers, who most of them have probably never heard of, Grandmaster Caz, Fearless 4, Treacherous 3, Crash Crew, Soul Sonic Force, Africa Bambaataa, all of these people that a lot of them never heard. But I also play Grandmaster Flash, and I also play Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and LL Cool J and Public Enemy, people they do know. So it's one of those things where you'll get classic hip-hop, but you're going to get it a couple of ways. You're going to get the big hits that you know, but you're also going to be introduced to where it came from. Because this will be the first time in America that hip-hop is truly, truly exposed to you guys, and you really get a chance to find out, okay, what's rap music really about? I'm not saying you're gonna like it because it's very polarizing. I'm telling you, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. We're not trying to be family friendly. The language is, the language is nasty. Either you love it or you don't. I'm giving it to you raw. I'm giving it to you raw. You know what I mean? I'm giving it to you raw.
In those early days, rap music was, I think obviously rap music has evolved over years like any kind of music has, but just lyrically, it seemed like in those early days, a lot of it was boasting, a lot of it was just kind of fun, like the Sugar Hill Gang, you know, it's not, you know, eating chicken at your friend's mom's house and it tastes like wood and stuff like that. Like,
all right, but let me give you an example about, you named that song, and you're right about that on vinyl. But there is stuff that we play that's not from vinyl, that's a little more raw. And think how the Grateful Dead were popular even without records. Think about groups that never made it on wax and didn't go platinum and didn't go gold, but they did live music. We're playing snippets of those cassettes, you know, and things like that.
You find the old
as well.
mixtapes.
Yeah, we're digging in
like
the crates heavy. We're going all over, mining all over to find that stuff. But like you mentioned Sugar Hill Gang. So one of the artists that we feature on the station that has new music and classic music as well as Grandmaster Caz. One of the stories people don't know is that the song Rapper's Delight, that you know, the chicken tastes like with that whole, you know, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Well, Grandmaster Caz actually wrote those lyrics.
Oh, really?
Big Bang Hank actually took, and may he rest in peace, Big Bang Hank, and shout out to Sugar Hill, it's all love. But I'm just exposing the truth about what the culture's about. That song, a lot of the rhymes in that song were not even written by the guy who was saying it.
Oh,
that was written by Grandmaster Caz from the Cold Crush Brothers, who's a guy that you will hear on our station. So these are the kinds of stories that you hear on this station. Like, I'm introducing you to the real culture, like, for real. Like, I was on the phone with Kool Herc, who actually started hip-hop for hours the other day. I was on the phone with Grandmaster Flash, who was one of the founders and one of the godfathers of hip-hop, and like a mentor. I'm bringing in the people that actually started the music, because there was hip-hop before LL Cool J and Run DMC. And there was hip-hop before Tupac and Biggie. And, you know, and there was hip-hop before all of these people that are so famous now. So you need to understand where it comes from so that you can understand, okay, what is Kendrick doing? What is Drake doing? Okay, how does that compare to where it came from? What does it mean? You know what I mean? Because a lot of the stations, they're only playing the music for you that is like the pop hit. So you're only hearing the song with the big chorus that the program director thinks my people in my city are gonna like.
Right.
But you're not getting the real. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting the real raw hip hop. So for some of you, when you turn to Channel 43, you're gonna, you know, on Sirius XM, you're gonna be, you know, you're going to be turned off. You're going to be like, I can't get into this. And for some of you, it's going to be the most thrilling moment of your life, because you're going to find out that, yo, so this is what it's really about. This is where hip-hop really came from. Like, for real. Like, not like pop, not guys walking around with a bunch of chains on, faking it, pretending, like for real. It's real. The music, the culture. It's for the culture. I'm doing this for the culture. I'm doing this for these guys that started off early. This is like a passion project of mine.
I've never seen you this passionate
before. Because it matters.
I really haven't.
It matters to me. You know, when I talk to Scott Greenstein and Dion and Jay and Steve Blatter and all the guys at Sirius, and we talked about this. Yeah. These are radio guys. We talked about really doing something for the culture. So
but they don't care. Those guys don't care about the culture. I'm just going to tell you right now. I know Scott Greenstein. He doesn't care about it.
But you know what he's smart enough to do? He's smart enough to let me care for him.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he let me care for him, though.
I'm nervous now.
Nah, don't be nervous. I love him. I love Scott. Scott's my man. Scott's a good guy.
We're going to take a break. LL Cool J is here. We'll be right back.
Portions of Jimmy Kimmel Live are brought to you by Lyft. Download the app, request a ride, and be on your way in minutes.
We are back with LL Cool J. He's got a new radio station on Sirius XM, Rock the Bells Radio. I've rarely ever seen you this excited. I don't know if I've ever seen you this excited.
Nah, probably
before.
not, because it's just so exciting.
As a kid, what was your favorite radio station growing up in New York that's something you listened to?
Well, you know, as a kid, there was two. First, it was WHBI. I don't know if it was a college station or whatever, but that's where Mr. Magic and Marley Marl were at, and that was how I was really exposed to hip-hop. First of all, I got exposed to hip-hop on the street through mixtapes and cassette tapes, not through the radio.
How old were you at that time?
And when I got exposed to it? About 8 or 9.
Yeah,
and I started writing at maybe 12, 11, 12. And then at 14, I started trying to make a song, a recording, you know, professionally. And around 16, that's when I got with Rick Rubin and we started Def Jam. You know what I mean? But, yeah, my favorite station, though, was WHBI. Then it became BLS. Then it became KISS, and then later on it was Hot 97 until they stopped playing my music.
You ruled them out.
Yeah.
Well, now you can play it yourself.
Yeah, it's all love, though. Play it now. Play it anyway, all right? Give me some love.
Was there any thought to only playing your music on Rock the Bells?
Now, that's what everybody expected. Everybody, oh, this was going to be a vanity deal. It's going to be all LL, all the time, all Cool J, all day. Nah, I play my music, but I'm not overdoing it. Like, it's really, I have some songs that just don't work on the channel because I don't feel like creatively they're the right fit. And so I don't play them. I only play the music of mine that I think really works on the channel, and I don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about me.
When you hear one of your songs come on the radio, do you listen through it, or do you switch away?
On Rock the Bells, I listen to it because I'm doing my homework and I got to listen to my station to make sure it sounds right.
But just in general?
I'm clicking off.
You did click it off? Wow. You know, the song Rock the Bells, I was thinking about it today. There's no bells in that song at all.
Well, there's a reason for that. That's because originally the song was supposed to be to the music that you hear on Run DMC's song Peter Piper.
Oh, okay.
By Mardi Gras by Bob James. I wanted to sample that. I told Rick about it, and Rick said, oh, yeah, great. And next thing I knew, Run DMC had, not Peter Piper, Big Pepper.
Oh, really?
Oh, but yeah. No, hold on, but let me finish. But it was all good. I said, yo, Rick, how did you do that? Because in all fairness, you know, Jam Master Jay, Run D, all of us are from the same neighborhood, so we have a lot of the same influence. So that Bob James Mardi Gras sample, they kind of beat me to the punch, and Rick Rubin gave him the assist. He was aiding and abetting the beating to the punch. And what ended up happening is I did an original version of Rock the Bells, and I still felt it wasn't quite right. And then Rick finally, we did another one, and he redeemed himself, and it ended up being way better. And Rick was like, oh, there's a million ideas. Don't worry about it. And he was right. It ended up being one of my biggest songs in terms of impact. You know?
Are there any artists with whom you had problems in the past that you go, I'm not going to play these guys on my radio station?
I'm playing Kumo D. I'm playing guys with diss records about me on the station.
Really?
Yeah, like Kumo D, I play him all day. Cannabis, you know, he got Mike Tyson on the ride. I'm playing it all. I'm playing it all. Again, you know, and this is my word, like, this is really for the culture. I'm not going to make this a LL Cool J glory thing. This is about hip-hop. This is about classic hip-hop. This is about entertaining and educating the public and introducing you, you know, allow hip-hop to reintroduce itself to you. You know what I mean? Like, really introducing you to what this culture is about and what this music is about.
Well, this was a major step. You were the recipient of a Kennedy Center honor. At first rapper ever to be honored in that way. Yeah. There you are with, we have Lionel Richie there, we have Norman Lear there, Gloria Estefan.
Carmen DeLavalade.
Carmen DeLavalade.
Yeah, she's a dancer, choreographer, unbelievable. She's actually was Meryl Streep's movement coach, and she's unbelievable. She's amazing.
Okay, so you're up there on stage now with Meryl Streep's movement coach. This has to be a great honor to you, right?
You know what? I was so blown away and just... I was moving. Nah, it was...
I got to get a movement
She taught me how to
coach.
sit, too. Let me sit how she taught me to sit. She taught me how to sit. Yeah. You just sit forward on the chair and your posture gets better.
So you also received some movement coaching.
I'm moving. I don't go nowhere without learning something. Why you think I've been around so long?
So, but being there on that stage, that's a meaningful thing, obviously.
Being a part of that class and a part of that community and being welcomed into that circle of, you know, that rarefied air was an amazing feeling. I'm not going to try to give you the pseudo humility. It doesn't matter. It does matter. I'm very thankful and grateful, and it's dope that I got that opportunity. And I'm glad that I had that kind of impact on the country. And I hope that, you know, through the station, I can continue to impact you guys and continue to just raise the level of culture and classic hip-hop in America so that more and more people understand what it's about and, you know, just get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's great. I'm going to definitely listen to this. Channel 43?
Channel 43. And you can go to my Instagram page, and it's all dedicated to, you know, classic hip-hop now. I've kind of changed it from the Muscle Man pics and all that.
Please don't get rid of those. Please don't get rid of those. We need to see your body.
There's parties coming up. We'll deal with all that. But, yeah, so you can go to my Instagram or go to Rock the Bell's Instagram. And
if you want to not see LL Cool J's muscles, go to his Instagram page. They've been wiped off the whole thing. Rock the Bells Radio, Sirius XM. LL Cool J, everybody. We'll be right back. 43. Well, hello there. Hey, Lyft has some big news. Their drivers, Lyft drivers, have now earned over $500 million in tips thanks to hard work and generous passengers like you. Because there's a moment in your Lyft ride when you realize, hey, this is going well. I'm going to leave a nice tip. It's called the tipping point. And here's a test to see if you can find the tipping points in this Lyft ride.
Oh. Hey, fellas, where are you coming from?
Oh, just coming from a taping of Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Oh, no way. I love that show.
Well, thank you very much. And there you go. 20 big ones.
You know what my favorite thing about that show is?
No, what?
Guillermo.
And 20 for you from me, my friend.
Yeah, sometimes Jimmy's hit and miss, but that Guillermo, always hilarious. The truth is, Jimmy kind of sucks. Oh, hey, Guillermo, you're the best.
Thank you.
Oh, you're hilarious.
That's nice.
Hey, you're the only reason I watched the show.
Can I figure out a way to get my $20 back on this thing?
Sorry about my friend. He's a little yellows.
A little what?
Yellows.
Yellows.
Yeah.
Whatever Lyft drivers are driving toward, generous passengers are helping them get there.
Hello, welcome back to the show. Let's go look on Portugal, the man with this remarkable goal in his first match here in LA. Our next guest got this city interested in Major League Soccer and man buns again. From the LA Galaxy, please welcome Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Thank you for coming. It's great to have you here. When you first got here, I was like, oh, we got to have this guy on the show. And then I was looking in the LA Times, and you took out an advertisement. A lot of athletes will take out a full-page ad. Usually when they leave, they thank the city, you know, for everything. But you took one out just as you got started, and it says, "Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome." So on behalf of all of us, thank you.
No, I mean, it has been a couple of years. I had my eyes on Los Angeles.
You have.
And I wanted to give them a gift, and I was like...
And it was you.
I was thinking a long time, and then one day it came like, I should give myself. And that's why it came up, and you're welcome.
You're from Sweden.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't, and maybe this is just some weird preconceived notion, but you don't strike me as quintessentially Swedish. I know you are Swedish, but Swedes are not braggadocious in general, yes?
They're too nice.
They're
I'm not
too
so nice like that.
Is that why you were asked to leave the country?
No. No. I mean, I'm not the typical Swedish guy, but I put Sweden on the map, so...
You have a lot of nicknames. I was reading through a bunch of your nicknames. Which one do you like? Like, is there one that you really feel strongly about?
I mean, my name in the Balkan language, it means gold, so I would prefer that, but I know people have difficulties to pronounce it and that, so in the end, somebody was like Ibra, and people call me Ibra, so...
Yeah, that's not a great nickname.
And now he's the Lion, so...
The Lion? Lion is good. Lion is good, but you know what? Snoop Dogg already has Lion, I think. So you have to, like, consider what's taken and what isn't. You could get sued. Who knows what could happen here, you know? I have a nickname idea for you. I want to run it by you. And you tell me, the Swedish Fish. Everyone loves Swedish fish here. I don't know if you're aware of this. I mean, back home, you probably just call them fish. But here, we call them... those little red fish, and people are like, oh, yes. We love them so much.
I like something more powerful.
More powerful?
Yeah.
What can you... Hold on a second. There's not anything more powerful than a Swedish fish. All right, I'll come up with something else for you.
You make something...
So your first game, you score a goal. It was an amazing, I mean, a long, powerful, thrilling goal. Before you go out on the field, do you have in your head, I am going to score in my first game?
I mean, I had a vision before I come. I said, when I come, and I know there is some earthquakes in Los Angeles, but this one was me stepping in Los Angeles, so... I wanted to make a statement. And I mean, every movie has a good start, yeah?
Have you been surprised by... No, most movies are terrible.
Yeah.
But... Have you been, not this one, have you been surprised, I know, by the way, you've scored it in your first game with almost every team you've been with, which is a crazy statistic.
But not goal like this.
Not like
not
this,
one.
That was
this
a good
one
one.
was special for Los Angeles.
Have you been surprised by this reaction? And not just here in Los Angeles, but I know, like, you went to Chicago, and it was crazy. Like, you barely even were able to get out of the airport. Does that surprise? Did you expect this in the United States?
I mean, in Europe, the football is huge. It's big. So wherever I went, it's... I mean, people, they get crazy and that. And people told me, when you come to Los Angeles, don't worry. You can walk on the streets and that. But since day one...
No. Yeah.
Busy everywhere. So it is my own fault, because if you play... the way I do, I mean...
Do you play other sports? Like, do you feel like you could have been a professional athlete playing basketball or
I think my confidence is what people have noticed is very high.
I noticed that,
My mental part is bulletproof, so whatever I would do, I would be the one I am today, so I'm just...
Does this
I'm just like, I chose football, and I'm sorry for the other fans that is cheering for the other sports, because it would be the same thing.
Do you worry at all that your teammates will be, will feel like they're in your shadow? They will be offended by your confidence and by all the attention that you get?
No. I make them superstars just like I make you.
So anything they achieve, really, they can credit to you.
I'll make them big, don't worry.
You know, there's been a lot of speculation about whether or not you will play in the World Cup. Are you going to play in the World Cup?
I'm going to the World Cup, yes.
You're going to the World Cup. What will you be wearing at the World Cup? Will you have cleats on the bottom of your shoes, or will they be regular shoes?
I just said I'm going to the World Cup. If I say more, people will... They will hang me, so I have to be careful what I say now.
That seems like an extreme reaction to you wanting to play in a soccer match.
I mean, a World Cup without me wouldn't be a World Cup, so...
Do you like it here? Are you enjoying your time here in Los Angeles?
I mean, people are very kindly with me. You see the audience there?
Yeah, right.
They're making me happy.
you know, you're not from here. You have to understand it's very unusual to get this kind of enthusiasm for anything related to soccer. I mean, for the most part here, soccer is a game we wish our kids didn't play, so we didn't have to go to it on the weekend every. Oh, I don't see any of you out on the field on Saturday morning. But you have really...
Listen, first of all,
Yes.
soccer, football, we call it in Europe.
We call it soccer. Get used to it.
So we call it football.
Yeah,
And,
right.
Football is the biggest sport in the world.
It is, yes. I
have the most-
understand that.
So imagine now when you play football and you're on the top, how you feel.
The biggest sport and being the best player in the biggest sport has to be obviously the ultimate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I feel.
You really should give talks to people and just like to
That's what
teach people to have self-confidence because I'm feeling like more of a man just sitting right next to you. Yeah. All right, so it's great to have you here.
you.
The Galaxy playing Atlanta United Saturday, New York Red Bulls on April 28th here at the StubHub Center. You want to see Zlatan, and Zlatan is the correct pronunciation, yes?
Zlatan.
Thank you very much. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, everybody. We'll be right back with Portugal the Man.
The Jimmy Kimmel Live Concert Series is presented by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing. The Jimmy Kimmel Live Concert Series is presented by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
Thanks to LL Cool J and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Apologies to Matt Damon. This is their album. It's called Woodstock. Here with the song Live in the Moment, Portugal the Man.